Hello everyone and welcome back to Gabriel Knight, Sins of Our Fathers, the 20th year anniversary edition. So we are now in day 3 and day 2 went alright. There was a little bumbling of trying to figure out what to do in day 2. But once we realized that we had to go to the Jackson Square, things started to move in a positive direction. So today we're going to go everywhere. We're going to leave no stone unturned. And we're going to try to do as much as we can. The first thing we're going to do, though, is do what we always do. Start with the newspaper.
Today's newspaper is on the counter. Times dated June 20th, 1993. Gabriel scans over an uninteresting front page. Under the cultural events section, there's a notice about a lecture on African religions. The lecture is at Tulane University. Gabriel's horoscope for the day. An evil eye is upon you. Change your course before it's too late.
Lighten up.
So as always, this is your Storybeats Gaming channel, so we will be reading as much of the lore as possible here. Sunday, June 20th. I think 21st was when the Outlook opened, and 22nd was when the Moonbeam Residence was open, so we still got a couple days on those. The French Quarter with the Spanish twist. The French Quarter, New Orleans' oldest and most famous neighborhood, is most known for the raucous party atmosphere of Mardi Gras. But the quarter is far more than a week of beads and bourbon. I would love some bourbon chicken right now. It's so good. Founded in 1718 by Jean-Baptiste Lamoine de Bienville, it was the original center of the city. Despite its name, much of the architecture is influenced by Spain, after many of the more French-influenced structures were destroyed in the Great New Orleans Fire of 1788. Culture events for today, noon. Don't miss today's public lecture at Tulane University on African religions. It will be given by Professor Hartridge of Tulane University. Definitely want to go see that. Horoscopes, Aquarius, and evil eyes upon you. Change course before it's too late. Okay. Let's talk to Grace to see if she's got any of her research done that we asked her to do.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Same time we can see if any new dialogue opened up. Nope, but we do have some messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Your pal Mosley called. He left a message that they are interrogating a suspect this morning, and you might want to be there.
Ooh,
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. I bet.
that sounds like something we should do. Okay, so let's head out. Alright, let's look around real quick. Here's the university, so that's new on the map. And nothing else was added. Now, I think this was 21st, right?
The sign says the Overlook's closed for repairs until June 21st.
That's tomorrow, and I think this was 22nd.
A sign on the front door of Magenta's home reads, "Attuning with the Spirit Realm," back on June 22nd.
Okay, so this is day 4, and this is day 5. Now, I do say we need to blitz the entire map. Maybe we should start, though, by going to the point of interest first. So go to the police station, go to the university, and then after we go to those two places, then go all around the map. That's what I'm thinking what we should do. Because we don't have really any more clues just yet, so going here and here may not be beneficial. So today we're going to start by going to the police station. Oh! Didn't even notice there was a drummer outside. I need to go back out there. I just like beeline right for the police station.
A drummer has decided to sit up outside the police station.
It's pretty good music.
Hey,
The drummer looks at Gabriel but says nothing in return.
Okay, let's enter the police station then. And let's go talk to Boris. I mean, Frick. I still can't believe this is the same voice actor. That's just amazing. He's so
Can
good
I bother
too.
you again, officer?
What is it this time?
He's so good. I love the voice acting. No. Let's head to Mosley. I wonder if they're gonna say anything. Hey, did you notice a file went missing when you left the other day? Kind of in a hurry. Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. Also, my police badge is missing. Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Give me back my badge. Now, Knight.
Okay,
Sure.
he noticed.
Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Yeah? You borrow it again in your history. Now, about today. Glad you made it. It'll give you a feel for how I am in action. You know, handling suspects, that sort of thing.
I'm sure it'll be invigorating. Who is this guy, anyway?
Calls himself Crash. He's been an informant for us before, mostly helping us bust small-time pimps and dealers trying to break into the territory. He's been staying invisible during these murders, but we picked him up this morning at Jackson Square pushing coke. He knows something. Call it detective's instinct.
Detective's instinct. Got it.
Got it.
All right, Crash. I want to hear about these murders. Have you been present at the so-called voodoo rituals?
I don't know nothing. All right, I told you.
Come on now. You can tell me. Do you know anyone who's been to these rituals?
Look, I can't say nothing. You gotta let me go.
He's afraid
Relax.
of something.
No one knows you're here. The men who picked you up were in plain clothes.
Plain clothed. Like you could fool them. They know I'm here. They've got ears all over the city. They know everything.
Who are they, Crash? Are they the ones doing the murders?
Let me go.
If you're so worried about being detained, start talking. You tell me what I want to hear, and maybe I can get you into the witness protection program. But you gotta earn it.
Witness protection? Are you crazy? Oh, don't make me laugh. Oh, Jesus, just let me out of here.
Oh, come on. Who's behind these murders, Crash? Why are the victims all members of the underworld?
Oh, by now they know I'm here. It's different when I'm supposed to come here. Oh, if I can send a message. Yeah. Tell him I didn't say nothing.
Christ, he's freaking useless. Just take him back to detaining, would you, Tony?
Yeah, he obviously knows something, and it
I'll
appears.
tell you, times like this, I'd kill for truth serum. Damn civil rights.
Can I quote you on that?
Huh? Hell no. Damn, we can only keep him for 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have to let him go. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. You know, for the book, I mean. Hey, maybe you could punch it up some. You know, what do they call that? Fiction. That's it.
It certainly is. I'll see what I can do.
So the idea here that I noticed I say the word "so" a lot. I need to stop doing that. Something I'm working on. The point is, he's afraid of them, and we know that at the Pochartrain place, we saw that there was a group of them doing the murder. This means that this is some sort of criminal organization. It's not just, you know, one murderer. It's an organization. Hi Mosley, how you doing?
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Not much here.
What's the status on the Voodoo Murders case?
Sure as hell ain't going well. There sure are a lot of brakes being applied in different areas of the investigation. We're getting some real info on the victims now, and they're not exactly upstanding citizens. I was hoping to get more out of Crash, but he's scared shitless. We'll have to let him go tomorrow morning.
What's the status on the Voodoo Murders case?
You're as filled in as me.
What's the...
You're as...
Okay. I didn't do this before, but let's see what happens.
Trying for a real estate job with that coat?
No? Are you trying out for a janitorial job with that hair?
Oh.
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
So how do you find anything in this office? It looks like a war zone in here.
Hey, I get my job done. I'm a detective, not Betty Crocker.
Are those new shoes? What are those, loafers? Kind of a mud brown suede kind of thing?
Hey, I'm on my feet all day, all right? Is that okay with you?
Mostly, I'm being perfectly sincere.
Yeah, you and my grandmother. Right.
You know, you have a unique way of wearing clothes that's, well, the way they kind of hang pleating over that stomach of yours, drooping off your butt.
We can't all have the body of a 12-year-old like you, Knight.
You know, if you started carrying a lollipop around, you might get more respect as a detective.
Go to hell.
Oh, that's not much of a comeback.
Trying for a real estate job with that coat?
No? Are you
Okay, so now they're repeating each other. Okay, not much more we can do. Is there anything we can show him?
Gabriel can't see a way.
I kind of want to exhaust all my options
Gabriel can't.
before we leave, because I don't really want to have to come back if we
That
don't
doesn't-
have to. Because yesterday, bumbling around a lot
That doesn't work.
off camera before I found the answer on camera took a while.
Gabriel can't.
So if we can
Gabriel
do
can't-
this. Okay.
Mosley seen.
Plasma scale. He gave us some murder photos. And nothing else is new here. Okay. Well, thanks.
Knight. Gabriel Knight. In case someone wants to know.
I clicked on myself because I'm used to the Quest for Glory games where you greet and say goodbye to people like that. No, that's not how you do it. You just walk out the door. Is there a way we can interrogate the prisoner though?
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
So is there another mirror, Frank's camera? I don't see another exit to this room.
Officer Franks looks too miffed about that file incident to talk to Gabriel.
Oh, they do remember things like that. Well, that's cool. I appreciate that. Okay, let's head out. And what we'll do is we'll go straight to the university before we start combing the map.
It looks like the lecture is just starting.
Voodoo is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voodoo is actually a banner heading, under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word voodoo may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism.
Yeah, that's
All of
actually
these
true.
subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits, instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals. Some relate to specific tasks or places. Some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all these spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices: animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
In voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a voodoo ceremony,
I thought it was Loa.
celebrants are possessed by the Loa. This is called being ridden. The human worshipper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit, and becomes, in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older original Africa Loa include Dambala, the great serpent god,
Snakes.
Ezuli, the mistress of love, Papa Nebo, or Gede, the lord of death, Awe, the spirit of water, Legba, spirit of the crossroads, and the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the lord of destruction.
I gotta get more sleep at night.
Tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called Houndfors. Their priests, Houngan or Bokors, their priestesses, Mama Loa. In a Voodoo Houndfor, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a Poto Meton. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a Bokor and a Mama Loa, or head priestess. The use of totems, or animal masks and markings, was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice.
All but the oldest
Ritual
sects.
objects used during the conclaves included the ritual gourd, or asan, the ritual knife, or kubasa,
That knife gives me the chills.
the ritual whip, or fouetcache, and the ritual coffin, or seke madule. These items are often optional, called for by the Mama Loa for specific magical rituals. The Mama Loa is the most powerful figure in any Voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. The Mama Loa is the supreme woman. She goes out of her house at night, sees many things, and tries to get butterflies, and at night again she sees other things, including fireflies.
What? Oh, we're probably not listening to him fully because he fell asleep.
Firelight.
Uh-oh.
Gabriel?
What? Can't see.
Gabriel. Get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Oh, God.
Hide, Gabriel. Hide.
Jesus. Oh.
No. Let me out. Help!
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Oh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Oh. You're stuck in a coffin like that with bugs all around you? Oh my gosh, that is frightening. Achievement unlocked. Advanced Voodoo Studies. Okay. Let's look around. So, yeah, not much to look around at here.
Gabriel isn't in the mood to give a lecture. A projection screen dominates the front of the hall.
I'm pretty sure we should just talk to him.
Dr. Hartridge is sharp-eyed and even sharper-tongued. When he condescends to look at Gabriel at all, it is with a dismissive glare.
Well, let's see if he's talkative, though.
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
Wow, a lot of things we can talk about. Okay, let's use, as I usually like to do, let's start with the bottom two and we'll work our way up. Ooh, this is highlighting yellow. Interesting.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud I didn't think you'd heard it.
That's true.
You must travel a lot.
Yes, to Africa mainly.
I'm very interested in voodoo myself right now.
How nice for you.
He's like, can you go away, please?
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight. I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
I think I need to know all that.
No.
Yeah.
Fine.
No.
I'd really like to know more about you.
There have been several articles written about me, Mr. Knight, as well as blurbs on my book jackets. If you want a biography, read.
Jeez, just so much here. Okay, let's go back to the top. Voodoo.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
So he... Gotta stop saying that word. He says that he knows that everyone is saying that the Voodoo Murders are faked or staged. And he hasn't pursued it because of that. Which makes me think that maybe there's a conspiracy going on where the people who are in charge are basically just saying that it's fake to kind of, you know, throw off the reality that maybe this is real.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
What else?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
Oh, that's cool.
A burning wheel. Huh.
That's kind of neat.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Do you know anything about veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
I don't even know what those are.
Tell me about Damballa.
Damballa is one of the major Rada Loa, also known as Damballa Wado. He is an ancient Dahomean rain god, often represented as a large boa constrictor.
More
Damballa
snakes.
is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patro Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti, and when voodoo first started in New Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent, Damballa.
Tell me more.
Tell me more about Damballa.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester. Perhaps you should take one of those, Mr. Knight.
Tell me about Ogun Badagri.
Ogun Badagri is one of the Patro Loa. The Patro Loa are much more violent than the Rada Loa. Some people believe the Patro Loa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patro Loa were African as well, though worshipped only by a small voodoo tribe, and a very bloody one.
Tell me more about Ogun Badagri.
He is a chief nasty, Mr. Knight. He is the spirit of war and destruction.
Tell me about Kabri Sanskor.
Do you know what Capri Sanko means?
Cabri Sancour? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe.
Excellent. What does it mean?
It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
Goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice.
Ah.
Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, It means a human being.
Which is what we're seeing in all the murders.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it.
He means a chicken, by
If
the
a
way.
bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Tell me more about...
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
And yet we keep getting voodoo rituals that require Kabin-san core. Okay, let's show him some stuff. Let's start with not the phone book page. What is this again?
Somewhere there's a Norlands phone book missing one of its C pages.
That's a Cadaveau woman. Well, let's look at the voodoo code first.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I've never seen those symbols. Therefore, they're probably meaningless.
Really? Are you sure?
I'm never wrong, Mr. Knight. Therefore, sure is not in my vocabulary.
Okay. Brick. I'm pretty sure this is used to write on the wall, so I don't think we need to show that to anyone.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No.
Okay, so if you... No, I don't want to leave. I hit the wrong button. I'm kind of upset at myself. I hope he's still here. Okay, good. He's still here. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Let's see here.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No.
Freddy can't. Hair gel would be nothing. How about the stick scale?
Can you tell me anything about this?
No.
Okay. Murder photo?
Is there anything you can tell me about the voodoo aspects of this photograph?
This is a serious voodoo ritual. Nasty stuff.
In what way?
Let's see. I can't make out much detail from this photograph, except for the corpse, of course, but the wound, the face, and what little I can see of the ritual paraphernalia, it reminds me of certain black voodoo practices. Very rare. I've never witnessed them myself, you understand.
Really? Interesting. Thanks.
Nice. Okay, what else can we show him? Probably nothing else. I don't think he
Can you
would
tell-
care about
No.
the police photo, or the phone book,
Can you tell me?
No.
or the hair gel. Okay, I think we've exhausted all
Up for-
possible...
Gee.
Nope, we got something new here. Black voodoo.
Tell me what you mean by black voodoo.
Well, like any religion, the beliefs can tend toward positive or negative ends, can be used for good or evil. Christianity, for example, has its doppelganger, Satanism. Anytime you attempt to set up an icon to explain evil, you invite some warped mind to worship it. The same is true of voodoo. There are those who are drawn by and desire personal power from the darker, bloodier Loa.
Can you give me an example of black voodoo?
All right. There is a very secret, very dark cult in Haiti called the Cult des Morts, Cult of the Dead. Their primary Loa is Papa Nebo, Loa of the cemetery. They practice a particularly disgusting form of necromancy, magic using the dead. They dig up corpses and use their decaying bodies for various spells and curses.
Ew.
Can you give me another example of black voodoo?
In tribal Africa, there were and still are black bokors, shaman bent toward the dark, who not only practiced necromancy, but also human sacrifice.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Black Voodoo?
Only that if it's being practiced in this city, none of us are safe.
Fair enough. Okay,
I'll see
so
you
we got
later.
some
Goodbye.
information about Black Voodooism, and I think that's helpful. What I think we'll do is we'll just start doing the rounds here. We'll head to Lake Pontchartrain. We'll press the space bar. We'll see if there's anything new. I don't see anything new, so let's head out. We'll head to the Getty Mansion. Press spacebar, see if anything is new. Nothing, and then we'll try to enter the mansion, and we'll probably be kicked out very quickly by the butler.
May I help you? Ah, it's you. Ms. Getty is not at home, sir.
Can you tell me where she is? It's very important.
She's visiting her mother's grave, Mr. Knight. Something even you can't be tasteless enough to want to interrupt.
Oh, you doubt my powers of tastelessness. How dare you? Okay, let's see where else. Exit to the French Quarter. Let's go to the St. Louis Cemetery. And let's head to the Getty Tomb.
Malia?
Mr. Knight, what are you doing here?
My family's tomb is here.
Mine too.
Unnoticed. Subtle.
Well, Mr. Knight, if there's nothing else,
Don't go. I need to talk to you.
whatever for?
I can't stop thinking about you. I've been in your thoughts too. I can see it in your eyes.
Mr. Knight, you don't know anything about me. I'm not in a position to get involved.
I've said that a million times myself, but this is different. I think we both know we can't fight it. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I have so many obligations. My family is very traditional. You wouldn't understand.
Hey, I love tradition. I've seen Fiddler on the Roof 100 times.
If I were a rich man.
This isn't a musical, Mr. Knight. We live in different worlds.
Look, I know you got more money than God. Do you think I care? Do you think that's why I'm saying this?
No, I don't.
Why don't you come see my world? I've got a little bookshop, St. George's on Bourbon.
I know.
See, I knew it. You're crazy about me too. Come by tonight. Please? My world isn't so bad.
I'm sorry, but there's no place for someone like you in my life. Not now, not ever.
Wow. Talk about the super
Damn
cool
it.
shoulder. Just like, get out of here. Now, in her defense, I don't blame her. Some creepy guy just suddenly, star-crossed lovers. Some creepy guy shows up at my house, pretends he's not who he says he is, lies to me about it, and then shows up at my tombstone and professes, hey, you need to be with me. Yeah, that's gotta be kind of creepy. Okay, I don't know if there's anything we can do in the Getty tomb here because this is still locked and we can't get inside. Can we go into, see our family tomb? Where's it at? Somewhere back here. Right tomb, here it is.
I don't need to go visit the family tomb today.
Okay, and it looks like everything else is the same. I think I'm starting to understand how this game works as far as the puzzles go and everything. You gotta go to all the new places, but you gotta find what's new about each place. Let's go to Dixieland Drugstore.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if Willie has anything new to say.
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
Haha, new stuff.
I found out what Cabri Sankal means. How did you know about human sacrifice?
I never said them words, monsieur. You must have heard them from someone else.
Do you know anything about Black Voodoo?
Black voodoo. No such thing, I tell you for sure.
That's a lie. Oh, that's such a lie. You know, you could just say, oh, I don't know anything about it, but when you say there's no such thing, oh, come on.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Don't talk like that around here, man.
You see, he knows something.
Do you know anything about Veves?
Like the ones in the voodoo rituals they do for the tourists.
Right.
They curiosities, no? This a curio shop.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Damballa is an African legend about a great serpent. Folklore, that's all.
Would you take
Okay, same thing with Willie Jr. Okay, and some new information here. This guy is so suspicious. I mean, it's like giant red flags are sticking out all over the place on this guy.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
I have some things to ask you. Oh, I should have shown the phone book thing to Willie. Try to get information.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
I'll go back and do that in a minute.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I do not believe so.
Isn't he one of the Loa?
Perhaps. I am not familiar with some of the more obscure Haitian and African Loa.
Do you know anything about Veves?
I believe they have something to do with Haitian voodoo. But that is not really my area.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
That sort of viewpoint makes my work very difficult, Mr. Knight. If there are one or two ignorant believers, that is none of my concern. And I do not care to promote a Hollywood interpretation of voodoo by discussing it.
Fair enough. I really like him. He's really cool.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Of course. It is one of the Loa.
Nothing else? Okay.
Does this mean anything to you?
I can't.
Okay, so we need to go back and show Willie this phone book page. How about this voodoo code?
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
No. They look like nonsense to me. Where did you get them, if I might inquire?
I saw them scribbled somewhere. Just graffiti, I guess.
I see. By the way, I forgot to warn you, Mr. Knight. The local cemeteries are quite dangerous. Buggers, vandals. I would avoid going there alone if I were you.
Really? Thanks for the advice.
He's like, I know where you got those from. Don't lie to me. I think we already showed this to him.
You know this woman?
Magentia Moonbeam, yes.
Yeah, that's the Moonbeam. That's where we got the information on the shop.
Could I...
Let's see if he has anything new to say. No, he does not. Okay. Let's head back to Willie.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, do you know anything about this
Willie Walker might not like the idea of Gabriel trying to track down one of his customers.
Okay, I understand that. That's actually a good point. How about this voodoo code?
Do you know anything about these crosses? I think there's some kind of code.
Look like a lot of hand tracks to me, man.
Yeah, he's not going to tell us anything useful. He is by far a sketch. Sketchier than sketch can. Okay, let's see. We need to go to the Cathedral still and Jackson Square. I know there's something that we can do at Jackson Square because the painter or the student. Anything new here? Try the confessional. Ooh. That is new. Confessional is open. And there's a giant hole in the confessional.
There's a knothole about the size of a quarter in the wood paneling on that wall.
Someone like spying on us during the confession?
The knothole is part of the paneling. The knothole doesn't seem to operate that way.
What if we put something on it? Gel, clay. You don't want to misclick.
Gabriel can't.
Okay, what about the clay?
Gabriel can't see.
Anything in the knot hole?
Gabriel can't see.
Flashlight?
Gabriel.
Let's see here.
Gabriel.
I'm pretty sure that knot hole is important. I just don't know how.
Gabriel can't see. Why?
Okay, let's go to the window here.
A meshed window provides access to the confessional from the priest's booth. There's
Didn't mean to do that.
a padded bench provides a soft place for supplicating knees. Gabriel can't take the kneeler.
I didn't mean to take it. I meant to use it.
May I help you, my child?
Could you give me a blessing?
Do you feel the need for a blessing?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
All right, if it will comfort you.
The priest blesses Gabriel through the confessional window.
Peace be with you, son.
Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else?
The way this room echoes is really weird.
Can I ask you a few questions?
The confessional is not the best place for interviews, son. You can contact the parish offices if you need private counseling.
I understand. Thanks, Father.
Is there anything else?
I'd like to make a confession.
All right, if it'll make you feel better.
Wow. That's not a Catholic thing to say. Womanizer. Unpaid is... Wow, there's just so many ways for us to apologize.
I've had a lot of women, Father.
A lot? More than 10?
Yes, Father.
More than 20?
Yes, Father.
More than 40?
Yes, Father.
Son, I don't think this is a matter for a priest. I think you need a good therapist.
If we're counting therapists, then I'm up to at least, let's see, count of the one, and this might take a while.
My son, I'm afraid my lunch break is coming on about now. Pray for forgiveness and say 20 rosaries.
This priest is like, get me out of here.
On second thought, when you finish the math, say that many rosaries.
Gabriel hears him leave the confessional.
Get me out of here.
I should probably add one more rosary for that while I'm at it. I've been a bad boy.
That's great.
There is no one there to hear Gabriel's wicked confessions anymore.
Oh, I want to go down the entire list. That's a shame. At least we got that one now. Okay, priest confessional.
I've always wondered how the other half lives.
Well, he left, didn't he? Ooh, ooh.
The priest's side of the confessional is made of well-oiled wood. There's also a box under the shelf on this side.
Oh, we're not gonna steal the priest's money,
There's
are we?
a box under the shelf. Inside the box, Gabriel finds a priest collar and some oil used for blessing.
Okay, good. I thought we were gonna steal money. I would have been like, that's like the worst thing you can do.
You never know when a priest's collar will come in handy.
That oil is for holy purposes, not the sort of thing Gabriel would want to use it for.
Okay, so we impersonated a police officer. Now we can impersonate a priest. I wonder if we go here, will anyone come to us?
He hears someone enter and kneel
Oh,
down
yes.
on the other side.
Father, I'd like to make a confession.
Oh, I thought it would be Malia G'day. That would have been great. I should remember that. Go on, my son.
Go on, my son.
I've recently come into a large sum of money.
I don't really see a problem with that.
It's not that. It's how I got it. I literally found a suitcase of money. So I picked it up and took it instead of telling the police or trying to find who it belonged to.
Yeah, that's bad. Invest in local business. Give it to charity. And we just vote. Invest in a, maybe we could get him to invest in our store. That'd be messed up. We do need some money, right?
I advise you to invest in a local business. I've heard there's this wonderful bookshop on Bourbon Street, in fact, that could use a little bit of luck.
Well, I'm not much of a reader.
What better time to start? Oh, and say 10 rosaries, I think.
If you say so, Father. Thank you.
Thank you, my son.
The man leaves the confessional.
That actually worked. What if we can get money from that? And then we could buy the alligator head.
He hears someone enter
someone else
and
is
kneel
here.
down on the other side.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
Do go on.
I've had impure thoughts about men,
no.
Father.
Oh no. It can't be that bad.
Surely it can't be all that bad.
Oh, it is, Father. No, I can't say that to a priest.
Don't worry about that, sweetheart. You say whatever you need to. In detail.
You don't sound like a priest.
But how can you cleanse your mind unless you fully express your sins, my child?
Aren't you just supposed to tell me to say rosaries or something?
We'll get to that. But first...
No offense, Father, but I think I'll try another confessional.
That's actually
The
a good
young
idea.
woman leaves the confessional.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Gabriel's calling is decidedly not hearing confessions. Not in a church, anyway.
Oh, we can't do any more?
Gabriel...
Aw, those are good. That was fun. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else here. But we do have the priest collar now.
It's a white priest's collar.
Let's head out. And let's head to Jackson Square. Hey, how you doing today, buddy?
How's it going today?
I also see something over
it's
to the
only you.
left, like a
Man,
new shop or
I have
something.
been jumpy all day. That pattern of yours really freaked me out for some reason. There's just something creepy.
You finished it?
Yeah, and you're welcome to it. Here.
Wow. This is great.
Yeah, just don't, blow up the planet with it or something, okay?
I didn't mean to upset you.
Forget it. I'm probably just being stupid. Do your thing with it, and, good luck.
Now, I wish I had come here at the beginning of the day, because now we need to go around and show this off to everyone.
The artist's reconstruction of the Voodoo Murders pattern looks accurate to Gabriel. Something about it seems vaguely familiar and creepy.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Oh, I should probably talk to him. See if he says anything else.
Thanks again for that pattern.
No problem.
Nope. Okay, let's head to this shop. Madame Lorelei.
Madame Lorelei, the fortune teller, is garbed in a belly dancer's outfit and wears a boa around her neck. A real boa.
Okay.
Madame...
Madame Lorelei, is it?
What can I do for you, handsome?
How's business?
How's business? I have no time for such dull conversation, darling.
How about a reading?
The prices are listed on the sign.
They seem a little steep.
Well, I sometimes do my intimate friends for nothing, but I am a businesswoman.
I'm sure you are. That's a nice snake you have there.
Oh, I could say the same of you.
Whoa.
Well, I know where I got mine. Where'd you get yours?
That's personal.
I'd really like to know more about that snake.
Oh, sorry, sweetie, but I don't discuss Elvis with anyone.
She named his snake Elvis.
No.
Well, then move aside, sweetie, but stay where I can look at you, okay?
Let's show her the snake scale. She has a snake on her. Oh, we can't show anything. Never mind. I don't see anything else here. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter. You are brilliant and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.